Dr. David Evans, and we're so happy for you watching with us on the PIC TV network. We're beaming this broadcast all the way from Washington, D.C. to Texas, and we're so happy to have Caitlin Rogers on today. How you doing, Caitlin?
I'm good. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing wonderful today. People are watching us from all over the world on our television network. You know, we have people from Germany, France, Argentina, Canada, United Kingdom, United States watching on our PIC TV network with
Wow.
channels all over the world. And we're so excited for you being on our business channel today. Many people are watching. Tell us, who is Caitlin Rogers?
So Caitlin Rogers is many things. She's not someone that you could put in a box. She is someone who believes that anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. And that is what I love about being able to speak to people, giving people the inspiration that they need. Caitlin thrives off of making people happy. And I feel like I found my place in helping people find their own success if they just believe in themselves. And I'm so much more, but I want to throw it back to you, David, because I want people to understand that number one, it has to start with yourself and your belief. And that is what my biggest goal and my mission is for our community, is to instill that belief so they know that whatever they want in their life, they can have.
Wow. You know, it's amazing. You know, you came from Texas in the long state, a Dallas Cowboy fan. You got millions of people around the world watching you. Hey,
Yeah.
a cow.
Definitely a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite player on
You know, oh my God.
I
So
know that's
this
big.
current team, I don't have a favorite player. I'm gonna say that. I would say Dak, but I don't want to be like everyone else, So I don't have a favorite player on this current team roster that we have. But I have to say my favorite player was probably gosh, what was his name? Number 19, Stephen Austin.
All right, yeah. So I met Deion Sanders a couple of times. He's a great man, humble man, and
Yeah.
had him. Um, and wonderful. Hey, everybody, you're watching our business channel on the PIC TV network. We're so happy to have Caitlin Rogers on, all the way from Texas. She's going to be talking about her career and how she's helping people. I see on your resume from State Farm, graduated from community college, State Farm agency, receptionist, and worked your way up. Talk about how you worked your way up in State Farm.
Absolutely. So I started out at an independent insurance agency, and I quickly learned that I was too quick at learning the things here. So when I would be promoted, I would quickly promote to another level and to another position. And that's quickly started to tap out because there was no more positions to move up to. So I applied at the corporate headquarters. And when I went to go work for the corporate headquarters, it made me realize exactly what we were doing as people who worked for, let's say, a head agent who owns his own agency. So that's when I went out my step around and I said, you know what? I'm done working for people. I'm done, clocking in at a 9 to 5. I want more time with my family. I want to be able to build something to lead to my family. And that's exactly what I sought out to do when I started my own independent insurance agency. It wasn't until I started to experience success that I truly learned that it actually wasn't insurance, writing insurance policies that made me happy. It was actually the people. It was being able to communicate and have conversations and relationships with the community and also get to understand what's going on in their lives. And I loved just talking to them and getting to know my customers, so much so that I would know when their wedding was, or when they were going out with their brother, or if someone's birthday was in the family. We had such a great relationship, and that made me realize that, I think I can do more. Not I think, I know I can do more. And so I set out in the community to show the community that, number one, if you want success, you can be self-employed or you can create your own business for yourself. And number two, if you want to go about generating what I would call generational wealth, you can start investing in real estate and purchase land and start building apartments. And that's exactly what I started to do. I stopped talking about it and I started doing it and taking action because people need to see examples of someone doing it in order for them to believe. David, and that is something that we are bringing, except so much more. You see, the problem that I even had as myself as a small business owner was access to capital. And as a small business owner, or just someone that's even getting started in the game, they will understand that their biggest problem or biggest hurdle they will face will become access to capital. They won't be able to, and I won't say they won't be able to because different people have different situations, but some people who have a small business who are making all ends meet barely would do so much with having access to capital. They would be able to grow their jobs, I'm sorry, be able to grow their businesses so that they can create jobs and grow jobs in their business. And that is exactly what our community is missing. We're missing a way to gain access to capital. And in this journey that I've taken on, because I know this information so early on in my life, I've decided that I'm going to be the beginning individual that will help so many people, so many women, people who look like myself, gain access to capital. And more importantly than that, David, to be able to go out there and take action on changing their lives and their communities.
Wow, that's major. When I hear you talking, representing the African American race and being a CEO, and what you're doing, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm so proud of you. We also,
Thank
yeah, we also talked and met in Clubhouse, and I seen you lead many, many meetings in Clubhouse with people all over the world, and I want to commend you also for doing a wonderful job at
you.
that. You know, uh, we need more role models like yourself.
Yes.
When, when you're talking about not just talking about it, but being about it, is a major, major thing. Let's talk about your family. Let's talk a little bit about your parents. How you was raised. Let's talk about a little bit about your family.
Absolutely. So I actually met my husband in high school. We met actually in the 10th grade year, and unfortunately, I ended up moving. But God is so good. We ended up coming back together our senior year. And we ended up actually conceiving a child our senior year. And so I want people out there to know that look at me as an example. I am a person who fell in love with their high school sweetheart. I am also a person that has gotten pregnant at the age of 17 and went through high school and graduated. And I said to myself, during building my family and starting this family so young and not really understanding what exactly I was doing, I started to tell myself that I wanted to build a legacy. I wanted to do it right this time. I wanted to do it different than what my parents did. That's exactly what me and my husband have led with in the entire time, just as kids being 18, 19 years old. We just wanted to be better than what our parents were. And my parents have always instilled in me that you have to work hard right now so you can have the things that you want on later in life. And I'm so, so thankful that they equipped me with that information because I could have been a mother or a young parent that thought, even though I've have a child, I can still go out and I can still do all these things. And, as a young parent, you will realize that a lot of the things that your friends may be able to do, you won't be able to do. You will have to focus on life a little bit earlier and creating a nice life for your family. And that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't let having a child at a young age hold me back from success. And I think that we live in a realm where people are constantly told something, and so they believe it. And my goal, and me and my family's goal, is to be an example to other families that even though you may have not done it the way that you wish you would have done it, does not mean that that has to be the last piece. And now we've even added on a second individual to our family, my second son, who's now 4 years old. So now we have two boys, and we've met in high school. We had no idea that our lives were going to be the way that they have planned out today. We had no idea. We were kids. And looking back on it now, I get so excited because you really do get to create the life that you want to create. And it starts with your mind. If you feel that your family is not going to have anything, then they won't. But if you want something for your family, if you want to make an impact in your family and reverse some of the things that have happened for generations, then it has to start with you. And that's exactly what me and my husband did. We took it upon ourselves to say, we are not going to be what our parents were. We're not going to make the same mistakes. We understand how that affected us as children, and we want to do it better this time. And I'm so, so thankful, David, for my family because, the space that God has destined me for, I could not have done it without my husband. I could have not done it without my children. They keep me going. They keep me inspired, David. They keep me saying to myself, even though some days I don't want to get out of bed, when I look at them, I do it for them. They keep me moving. They inspire me. They love me. They motivate me. And that's why I'm so, so blessed and thankful to God that I was blessed with a family so young, David, because you have to change your mindset at how you look at things. God, for some reason, has blessed you with a child at such a young age or a family at such a young age, and you may not be looking at it at the right way. Maybe, in my opinion, God didn't know. Well, God, of course, knew this, but I didn't know God was saving my life, David.
Mm-hmm.
Saving my life. You see, I was going to go into a realm that may have not have been for me. And because God knows me, He knows I never give up. But God knew that what I needed was my family and my children, someone to look at every day to keep me going and push me. And that's why I'm so thankful for them.
Wow. I'm so, I mean, when I hear you talk like that, it reminds me of myself. It reminds me of how important family is. I'm a family man, and my wife, we've been married for 33 years, and we have two
Oh,
sons.
congratulations.
Yes, Stephen and Amos. Stephen is in California with the Stars, and I can't even name all of them. Kanye West, he's out there with Ox. He's on doing some things on the late night show. Even this week, he's on doing some great things. Been in the studio, so many recordings, Sony Studios, and all those things. Movies for BET. And my son Amos, he graduated from Carnegie Mellon University, and he is a small genius also. So when you talk about family, that's my heartbeat, and my wife, she's a graduate of UVA in 3 years. So
Nice.
we very, 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 very high on family. And when I hear you say that, you're just a testament for so many young people who feel like giving up because
Mhm.
they're in high school. They feel like their life is,
It's
stopping.
young. It's hard, and then you got to get out here. You got to figure out that you got to pay bills, and bills are expensive today. And back then, when I was coming up, $500 in rent was expensive, and that's cheap today.
Mm.
So, and this is what I love about what God has put in my life and how He has put it is because of the journey that I've had to take on. And the journey allows me to explain to people that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you from whatever you put your mind to. And how you put your mind to something is what you believe in. If you believe that you're going to be successful, then you're going to be successful no matter what. But if you believe that the resources or some of the things in your life are holding you back from being successful, then you'll never achieve it because there's always going to be something going on in your life. Your family, your finances, whatever you're working on will never be perfect enough. The procrastination will keep you in the same place you started a year ago. And what I am here to tell people is that if you believe in yourself, you take action on your life, you get in touch or you get involved with the resources that we have at hand today, especially for our minority communities, we can change our lives. And we don't have to be the family that's broken anymore. We don't have to be the family that is suffering because we don't have money at home, David. We can't go out and enjoy the park because we're so worried about the light bill being made. I'm talking real here. And I want people to understand that It's okay to go through those things. It's okay because it builds you, it molds you, it humbles you to understand the next success that you're about to experience in your life. It's all about your mindset and your belief.
Wow, that's big, Caitlin. Those who are watching right now, you're watching the Pick TV Network Business Channel. We have Caitlin Rogers all the way from Texas. She's on today. We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to come back and talk about network and how she has Safe Light and also from her she's doing right now and helping people, blessing people with the People's Organization that she's doing. And we're so happy for all of you. So we're going to come back right after this commercial. Hey everybody, thank you for watching our Pick TV Network. We're so happy again. We have Caitlin Rogers all the way from down in Texas. Hey Caitlin, wave to everybody again. Wave, give them a wave. And we're just excited for her coming on, being an African American CEO, founder of her own business. Also, let's talk about Safe Light and how did you get into Safe Light and how's that doing?
So I started to get into insurance when I discovered that I was myself working for an independent insurance agent who had the exact same license that I did. And the reason why I decided to go off on my own was because I was tired of working a 9 to 5. And I discovered that because I had this license, I could create my own business and I could sell my own insurance for myself. So that's exactly what I did. And I set out to hire more agents who then would be able to sell under me and be able to still earn commission and so forth. So I would be the independent agency owner for myself. But it was in the process of me discovering myself as an entrepreneur and also the people that I had so much love for that I realized I wanted to do more than just insurance. You see, as individuals, we should want to go from working for someone to being self-employed, which means you work for yourself technically, but you are still contracted with someone. So you're self-employed And then you should then want to go to a business. So now you own an actual business that's incorporated. And then you want to go to an investor where you're investing in assets that pay you cash flow.
Wow, that's awesome. You know, when I hear you talking like this, this is it's so wonderful to hear an articulate, professional voice from an African American woman as yourself, and representing us. You know,
Mhm.
you need to be at the White House. You need to be working in Capitol Hill. You know, you can put things
Well,
together.
David, I tell the community that, I would love to go into politics. I want to make a change in our community. However, I feel as though I have to earn the people's trust first. I can't just say I want to do something for the people, but I haven't done anything. I haven't created anything. I haven't changed lives. And so when the time comes for me to run for a political office, people will be begging me to run, not me begging for people to vote for me.
I believe it. I believe you got it. I mean, I've talked to so many people on Clubhouse, and they've been on our television broadcast. So, you know, we meet a lot of political. Matter of fact, we have a public channel on our Pick TV network, and you know,
Right.
when you look at our network, Caitlin being a African American television network, 100% owned by us, and we pushing out inspiration, you know, because people need this in COVID-19 and information because what is this shot going to do? What is it not going to do? How is it going to react? So we have to have information and education. We have doctors. That's why we have a Black Health channel, diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure. And then we do have entertainment also, which we have music, comedy, movies. But when you see a Black owned African American television network of 60 channels. How does that make you feel when you see this, Caitlin?
So it makes me feel as though we are finally understanding and actively taking action. Now, the only piece that we need to do is make sure that we support you, make sure we support the network, because ultimately, we've noticed that communities of races, they come together and they build together in their own communities to make them better. Unfortunately, that is something that our community lacks in, and it is there for a reason. But we cannot continue to allow that reason that happened over 400 years ago continue to keep us separated. We have so much work to be done, David, to repair our communities economically, to reestablish the wealth gap, to help those people, those families who are unfortunate in situations. We have so much work that needs to be done, David, that this is only the beginning, I believe, of this network getting the word out to our community of the change that can happen. I mean, David, what you're doing is amazing. It has not been done before, and people have tried their best to do it. So, David, what I would say to you is don't give up. Keep going. This network is going to blow up. I totally see it for this network because our community, the momentum that we are changing before your very eyes. Our community is coming together like never before. And that's just not the Black community, but that's the human race. And I think that you're in such a great space. You're in network with such a great people. I just can't wait to see how we can grow the network. I can't wait to see how we can finally show people how they can get involved. And we're not depending on, a TV, a network that isn't owned by a Black individual, and to give them a yes to us that we can go on their network or we can do an interview. This is us showing you action that we are taking back control by providing a network that will allow for our Black entrepreneurs, for our Black celebrities, for our Black politicians to have a network of 60 channels to come on to and to advertise themselves as, or to share their stories or to help our community. David, if anything that we can do, I just want to help you get the word out about this network because this is what we need. This is how we're going to push ourselves forward. And I don't think you, not just you, but I don't think the people who know Pick TV, the power that we have here. I mean, we are big consumers. And if we can just support what Pick TV is trying to do, if we can all tune in and listen in, I mean, we can really, really come together and change our communities.
Yeah, I believe that, Caitlin. That's why, our network is basically, again, having 60 channels. And I didn't want to have just, you know, comedy or, just entertainment or music. We see that on different platforms of social media, Twitter,
Right.
where people are using their
We have
body
it. Yeah.
and not minds, a lot of times showcasing the outward. But we have professional people like yourself who are on our Pick TV network, showing them
Mhm.
African American people can be CEOs, founders of organizations. And I'm so proud of you. We're going to have to put you on our a business channel on a weekly show and get your
Well,
husband too.
so much, David. And I really want people to see and know, David, that we actually had a couple of people. We announced it, and David, you were actually a part of this call. We announced our first day on Clubhouse as the last day of Black History Month of when we were going to go live with our business and incorporation, all that great stuff. And a couple Sundays later, because we do host these rooms every Sunday, David, a couple Sundays later, we had the former CEO of T-Mobile come in and
Wow.
say, I know inequality exists. I want to fight against it and tell me how I can. And we named off a list of things that he could do for us to help us fight against this and help us gain access to capital. And he just said yes to every single one, including, David, investing $50,000 in United People. I
Mm.
mean, it's amazing what we're building. It's amazing the platform that we are creating that people can come together from all races and help out the people that have been, economically unequal to the resources that we have today. I mean, it's just not it's not fair. I think George Floyd was a very good example of the unfairness that exists in our world. And I think it opened up to a lot of people the problem that we still have today. Yes, Martin Luther King marched for the end of segregation. And yes, laws have been changed. And yes, we have our freedom. But have we really recovered economically as a community? We haven't. And the reason why is because we've had a gap where for significantly a long time we've had no access to capital. I mean, less than 1% of access to capital goes to people and women of color. And that's just not something that we want to continue to let go on when we have the power today to change our futures. And what has allowed us to do this, David, is something that was a part of the Jobs Act in 2016, which is crowdfunding, David, where you can now legally raise money online from the crowd. And what United People is, it's an equity crowdfunding platform. So it's a marketplace. It allows for entrepreneurs like yourself or a person that is investing in a real estate transaction, investing in a real estate investment, and they need to raise capital for it. You no longer have to go to a giant financial institution or go to an investor directly and beg them to invest in your company, beg them to believe in you, beg them to for you to show them why you are the person they should be investing in. Now you have the capability to come on a platform, market yourself in exchange for investors who are accredited to invest in your business and your offering in exchange for equity. So you're giving up equity in your business in exchange for that investment that, let's say, may be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You're going to be raising capital from all of these accredited investors who may put in just a little bit of money, but the beauty of it is that you get to raise from a pool of them, a pool. So people are going to be looking at your offering or your business and they will say, Do I want to invest in this business? Do I see that this business is going to have a space where they see a future for themselves and they're going to grow and scale? And does this business look like it has a goal in mind that they're wanting to reach down the road that I think I'm going to be able to get a return out of, whether that's a sell or it's a real estate investment, and I'm going to be receiving quarterly distributions for my investment that I made for $1,000. I'll make $50 every month and $150 every quarter just based off $1,000 investment. And I didn't do any work. I don't do any work for $150 every quarter. This money comes to me regardless if I work or not. And David, that is what we want our community to understand. It's a two-sided marketplace, one for our entrepreneurs who believe and want to raise capital, and two, those accredited investors who are looking to invest, who want to diversify their portfolios. This gives them a way to come onto a platform and invest in those businesses instead of them having to go through and hunt down those businesses to see whose lives they can impact, what communities they can change, especially if they're a sister or if they're a brother who is a part of the Black community and they want to invest in a Black business. This is giving them a way to directly do it. They'll know what businesses they're going to be investing in. They won't have to go through a big portal like NASDAQ and invest in a stock and they don't know the owner at all. But they're going to invest because they understand investing in stocks is the right way to put your money and not just leave it in a bank account. So this is going to give people the ability to raise capital and also for those accredited investors to be able to invest in small businesses, startup businesses, or real estate investments.
Wow, that is so awesome. I believe that relationship ties into destiny, and what you're sharing with us today is powerful.
Definitely.
It's information that we need. It's when you speaking the truth in love, and
Mhm.
Bible scripture says that we destroy for lack of knowledge. We need the knowledge. We need to have information because we're in the information age. I think a lot of times we get the misinformation because we listen to the latest song, we dance to the latest music, and we get so caught up into the entertainment aspect, we forget about the educational aspect. And I'm so happy again that you're bringing to us just what we need in 2021 so we can get
Right.
more information. Those who are watching right now, you're watching the Pick TV Network, our business channel. We're spotlighting today Caitlin Rogers, all the way from Texas, from Washington, D.C. to Texas, the long state. Caitlin, you talked about the business that you have, United People. How did you come up with that? How did that come into manifestation?
I'm so glad you asked me that, David. It's a very important piece because United People is more than just an equity crowdfunding platform. You see, 2.5 years ago, I lost a family member in my life, and that family member was only 21 years old. He had just started his life, to be honest, and he died in a motorcycle accident. And David, when I tell you we attended his funeral and over 230 people showed up to his funeral. So he's a 20-year-old young man who impacted over 230 lives. And I said to myself, I don't have forever. We do not have forever in this world. What have I done in this world to make an impact? Whose life have I really changed more than just on an insurance level? And that is what really set me on course. And so I started to really connect with God because I understood that my time could be coming to an end at any time. And I wanted to make sure that not only I was saved, but I was connected. And when I started to live by God and understand his will, I submitted to him. And I started to understand the calling that was on my life, David. The calling that God wanted me to do, my purpose in this world was his will. And that's exactly how it started. You see, I look around and I see clear as day a roadmap on how we can fix the problems that we suffer from as a community, how we can go about fighting against police brutality and just by protest. and how we can go about educating ourselves to put those political figures in place so we can have law reform and we can change policies that don't benefit our communities but have been hounded by our communities. And also, David, a way that helps not just our community build ourselves back up, David. This is the biggest piece. United People was created so that every single person understood we can't do it alone. We can't just do it with one community. If we really want things to change, if we are serious about taking action, if we are hurt and afraid from what happened to George Floyd, and you saw the people that stood up, I started to realize, David, that people were ready to come together. And more importantly, people were tired and they were ready to take action on their lives. And all they've needed to do was find an organization that can help bring people together from all backgrounds, not just one, but from every single race. And that's why I always go back to the human race. United People will be built on the human race by coming together and creating a movement that has never been done before in history. Because, David, like you said, we aren't just creating one leader. You see, in the past, we've had just one leader. We've had a Malcolm X, we've had a Martin Luther King, we've had a Rosa Parks. And every single time we've had one individual leading the cause, we end up falling because there's always just been one individual leading the cause. We want to create leaders out of every single body who is ready. We want you to understand that if we really want to impact our communities, we have to become a leader and we have to take action. And that is what has really gotten me on the road of where I'm at today, David, helping people understand their gifts and their beliefs. And it starts with their mindset, and that you can really change your life. And we all know that money, although it does not make us happy, can make life a lot easier and can change your life drastically. And that is what we want for our communities. But we understand, number one, we have to organize ourselves. That's what we do with our platform. We come together every Sunday on Clubhouse at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to organize ourselves. Number two, David, you said it already, we have to educate ourselves. If we don't know the language of what someone is speaking to us, we won't understand. And that right there is something we have to break through. We have to understand the language if we really want to change our communities. And number three, David, which I would say is the biggest one, is taking action. Not just talking about the problems, not just sitting around and talking about what we're going to do, but getting up and taking action on the change. And that's exactly what I did, David, when I created United People. I said to myself, God, I'm going to pray that this has you all around it, flipped around, and that you are the builder and the creation of United People. And we're just going to help mold it and create it so we can create individuals, leaders who can help change their communities and change their lives. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Wow, that is awesome. I can just listen to you for days and days because the information is so beautiful. And speaking about Clubhouse, we've been in rooms, and thank you for inviting me to all the stages with 6,000 people and more. Coming in
You're
your
welcome.
room. I'm just so honored. And we are blessed just to have you to be a leader in today's time. I can't wait to meet your husband. You got to send a shout out. You got people watching you, millions of people around the world. You got to send a shout out to your husband because they're going to watch this. Your kids,
Absolutely.
some of your kids.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to my love, my husband. Thank you so much for being there for me. David, today's my birthday, and he's such a sweet,
Uh,
handsome man, and I could not be where I'm at in my life without him. So, honey, thank you so much. Thank you. And to my children, man, mommy is paving the way for you guys. I don't want our communities to suffer in your futures, in your lives. We want to make the change now so you don't have to go through it. And that is what mommy does every single day when I wake up. It's because of you that I have started on this journey.
Thank you, Caitlin. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I didn't know today
Thank
was your
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Going to have definitely got to have you to come back. Those are watching from around the world, Peru, Germany, Argentina, France, wherever you're watching, United Kingdom.
Wow.
We got to say happy birthday to Caitlin.
Thank you.
Television broadcast. Enjoy your day. Blow out your candles. Eat your cake. Just fudge if you want to. Just do what you want to do. It's your day. And we thank you. You promise me you'll come back on and do
Oh,
another.
absolutely. Absolutely. As the platform progresses and we guys show you how we implement a change and we give you examples of how we're doing, we want people to, number one, believe. They have to believe, and we can only do that by showing them the visions that we have in our minds. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the PIC TV Network, our business channel on today. We have Caitlin Rogers all the way from Texas on her birthday coming on our show today. God bless you, Caitlin, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye bye for now.
Thank you.